I'm Durrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I am also the Dean of the Samaritan Institute, which is a Divine Science ministry school, and I am the current president of the Divine Science Federation International. I grew up in the South. I grew up in Arkansas, and then in East Texas, right next door, and which is part of the Bible Belt. Yeah. And my family was a mixture of two conservative traditions, Roman Catholic and Southern Baptist. And so there was no affirmation of LGBT, like they wouldn't even know how to do it. There was just, the world was binary and black and white, and that's just what they thought. That's what they knew. And anything different than that was frightening. And so home life was pretty rough because I was obviously different, and I think it scared them. And I think they thought if they could sort of toughen me up and rough me up into what I was supposed to be. And so life just seemed lonely. And there was like this secret that I dare not let out. And this is from an early age, just even before I even understood sex or sexuality. I just knew that I was different and that nobody thought that was okay. And so that was, but I was also very religious. And so I spent a lot of my youth trying to pray the gay away. And of course that's not how that works. You don't have to embrace your blessing, but you can't make it not be there for you. So that was a real struggle. That was a real struggle. In college, my freshman year in college, I got a job at a barbecue restaurant, a smokehouse. And right next door was it was a house that had been converted into a church. It was called Parkway Unity. And I worked on Sundays, but they had a service at 10 o'clock and my shift started at 11. So I didn't know anything about Unity. I didn't know anything about this little funky church in a yellow house, with a sign. I just knew it was right next door, and that was my chance to go to church. I could go to church, stay almost to the end, and still be at work on time. So I thought, well, I'll try it. And it was Unity, and there were these pamphlets out, and these books for sale on a table. They weren't marching any gay pride parades in that town. There wasn't any such thing, but they were about love and inclusion. And we're all part of God, and God's not rejecting anyone. And so that was good news. I liked that. And so that got my feet wet. Our thing is God is all there is, and so you matter. You are a person of sacred value because, as Emerson said, you are part and parcel of God. That's our shtick. That's the whole thing. And we just try to have a lot of fun with it. We have drag shows and film showings and picnics and cabarets, and even our worship is almost like a jazz sort of concert with some comedy and but also sacraments. We just want to do it all so that you can find what is good for you, and it's all to reinforce the one message that there is one power, one presence. It's all good, and you're part of it. Now that has a particularly healing and empowering impact on LGBTQ plus people. And so no surprise, we're over 80% gay, our congregation. Struggled with this question because, not because I don't have a thought, but because it is not in the mainstream of thinking about this sort of thing. It's going to be a little controversial, I think.
I love it.
But
I'm so happy to hear that.
Because my vision is not an assimilationist vision at all. We have an identity, and I'm very much, I don't want our color of the rainbow to be lost. And so I don't want us just to be everyone to love us and we blend in and no one even sees our difference. I think that is almost a form of internalized homophobia to even want that. I am different than my straight parents. I love my straight parents. My straight parents are wonderful people, and their experience of life is very different than mine. And they haven't had to hide or water down or anything in their experience. And I don't want to do that with mine. I want you to know how I'm different from you so that you can appreciate it and say, oh, wow, I never knew that. And now we have something else to talk about and something else to celebrate. When communities lose their contribution to the whole, everyone suffers from that. Sometimes we'll get a note from someone saying, I am a straight ally from Tennessee, and here's a contribution. What? That is amazing. And they do that because of who we are blessed that different kind of person. And so my vision is that, yeah, there's more justice, there's more inclusion, there's less hate, there's more opportunity. Yeah, I want all that, of course, but I never want us to shy away from the blessing and the uniqueness that we are. We are God's miracle and not God's mistake. And so I am blessing a straight woman in Tennessee because I live my gayness. And she would not get that blessing if I were to hide mine. And so my vision for the LGBT is, yes, more justice, more inclusion, more fairness, less hate, but we can have all of that without ever being less than we are. And we are unique, we are our own color in the divine rainbow.